Hey, welcome to the Straight Sports Podcast. We're your hosts, Tushar and
Joshua.
in this podcast, we will give our opinions on our favorite sports, which are basketball, soccer, and wrestling.
So, going to topic number one, we have basketball. And this is about LeBron James. It says, LeBron James has not done enough as a Laker to be on that list, Jefferson said. He's referring to the Mount Rushmore of the Los Angeles Lakers. And he says, Braun, been there now. This is his fourth season, right? 2 years, they haven't made the postseason. 1 year, they lost in the first round. And 1 year, they won a championship. So, do you agree or disagree? And who was on your Lakers Mount Rushmore?
So I want to make clear, people are thinking that Richard Jefferson was throwing shots at LeBron. He wasn't throwing no shots. He was being factual. Sometimes the truth hurts, I guess, but I think even LeBron would agree that when it talks about being he's not done enough for the Lakers. Obviously, when you become a Laker, people forget about everything that you've done. It doesn't matter what you did in Miami or Cleveland, where else he's been, and he's been successful in its other teams as well. When it comes to Lakers, it's like a restart. You got to deliver here if you want to be considered one of the greatest Lakers ever. He's delivered a championship. He's helped them get to the 17th and tie the Boston Celtics. But of course, I don't think he's the greatest. Obviously, when you talk about who is on my Mount Rushmore, he's definitely, I wouldn't say he's not on it, but because if you look at LeBron James's for like 4 seasons, 2 of them no playoffs, one a first round exit, and one a championship. He did get the championship, so he got at least one. But usually, a LeBron James led team is always excellent every year, and
Yeah.
obviously this stop with the Lakers, he's missed the playoffs more times than he's missed in his whole career, probably in any other franchise. I think in Cleveland, I think he missed it once or twice. He didn't miss anything after that. So like with the Lakers, he literally 50% he was not in the playoffs, and then 1 year, just a first round exit, obviously. So my Mount Rushmore starts with Kobe Bryant. He's number one right there. Obviously, why play 20 season with the Lakers? You could probably, I think, is not an argument. He's probably the greatest Laker ever. He won 5 championships. He had a three-peat with Shaq. Won 2 with him and Paul Gasol. At 2, I got Kareem. Won 5 championship with the Lakers. We had Showtime with Magic and Kareem. He won 2 Finals MVP. I don't think there's a debate there. At 3, I got Magic Johnson, obviously 5 championship, 3 Finals MVP, speaks for itself. And number 4, Jerry West. I mean, I know he won 1 championship, but he's a logo. He is basically like when you watch the NBA, you see him on the logo. Like he is the
Yeah.
NBA, and it's hard not to say that. And he was, he was with the Lakers for so many long. He just, now he's with the Clippers, but he was with the Lakers for a very, very long time, and he's considered also one of the best executives as well. So yeah, he's on that list. And obviously, there was another one that I was debating to put on. It's very difficult, and he's done, I think, enough that you could consider him on the Mount Rushmore, which is Shaq, who three-peated with the Lakers. Um, and it's hard because he won 3 Finals MVP, so it's very difficult not to not put him on the list. So it was a tough one. But LeBron James, I mean, guys are named. They played many seasons with the Lakers. LeBron James towards the last stop of his career, he joined the Lakers. So it's hard to put him on the list. I don't think anybody's upset with it. But yeah, of course, when it comes to Miami, is he on the Mount Rushmore? Of course. If he's in Cleveland, of course. Lakers, no.
Yeah, I have to 100% agree, man. Honestly, I don't even see how there's a case like for him to be on it. I mean, and I think what Richard Jefferson says was literally spot on. Like people may put him there because of what he's done in his career, but the question is about the Lakers and what he's done for the team and the franchise.
Hmm.
And those 2 years without making the playoffs, like those are very glaring. And only one ring, like everyone up there has multiple. So I mean, I don't know how he would squeeze on there.
Yeah, look at all the greats. Kobe 5, Magic 5, Kareem 5, um, uh, Shaq 3, right? I just named you 4 right there.
Yeah, so he'd be skipping past some other players who even have who one could argue are more qualified. 100% agree with this quote by Richard Jefferson. And who's on my list? I mean, I don't know if I got an order. I mean, I'm gonna put
Oh, I guess
Kobe
I
and
guess I should have been clear too. It wasn't really order. I was just listing it, but I feel like
yeah, yeah,
Kobe is the best Laker
yeah,
ever. I
yeah,
mean, he played it 20
yeah,
seasons, so I
for
guess
sure.
yeah, I guess that was in order. Sure.
So I'm gonna put Kobe. I got Jerry West. I got
Mm.
Kareem and I got Magic. I mean, I think
We
that's
got
what
the same list.
everyone's
Yeah,
list like not should be because to each his own. But I feel like that's gonna be like like the most common list.
yeah. The
And I
only
feel
one
like
I feel like there's a real debate for Shaq though. But is the
yeah,
question
yeah,
is
he
who
could
you
also be on the
taking
list
off
too.
though?
But yeah,
Yeah,
but who would you take off? Like it's one
that's
of
tough.
those.
Mm.
So it's just interesting on that part. So next, this is breaking news. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James has agreed on a 2-year, $97.1
Mm,
million contract
that
extension,
moolah.
which includes a player option for the 2024-2025 season. CEO of Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, tells ESPN James was entering the final year of his contract, which was worth $44.5 million. What's your reaction to this? And do you see LeBron James winning another ring with the Lakers?
My reaction to this, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think he was gonna sign the extension right away.
Same.
But now looking at it, because with the Lakers being right now a complete disaster, I thought maybe he would be like, make these moves and then I'm gonna sign because he clearly wants some changes in the franchise. But I think the bottom line, he signed there. Obviously, he loves living in LA. He got a lot of business stuff there. Family loves it there. His sons play, I think over there as well. So I think also he made it more like clear he was gonna stay no matter what because of course like LA is like perfect for him and his family. So I think he probably made it
Yeah,
based on that. Um, but still surprised. But obviously, people saying he should take less money. Nah, to get your money, man. I mean, he deserves it. Obviously. And then do I see him winning another championship? Obviously, look, I'm never gonna count out LeBron James, so I'm not gonna say definitively no, but I would say I highly doubt it with the Lakers. It's unless a major move happens, like a Kyrie Irving comes to the Lakers or some
yeah.
major move. But I'm not gonna say because I could see maybe how about next year a move comes and somebody joins in with the Lakers. So I'm not gonna say it. I could see him winning one more at most with the Lakers, but looking at all the teams right now currently destructed, I can't see them winning a championship. It's kind of hard. The bottom line is I'm gonna say highly unlikely that he wins another championship with the Lakers, but I'm never gonna count out because if you have number 6 or his other number's 23, you have that guy on your roster, you always got a chance.
That's facts. I mean, I also can't really see them winning another ring unless, like you said, some major roster moves are done. But with that being said, I won't count out LeBron James. Like you said, I can't. Like what he's done for his career, he's shown that every time you cut him out, he's just done something and found a way to,
And that team is good. When we
just
saw
succeed.
LeBron, sorry for cutting you off. When you see LeBron James and Anthony Davis healthy, we saw what they can do. Like literally for the
Yeah, it's a
last two
special
seasons, we just been
duo.
like healthy, healthy. If they stay healthy, they can compete with a lot of teams in the West. Obviously, there's still I think a lot of teams better than them, but I think a lot of people forgot what they are. They were probably the best duo at that year, but problem is injuries, injuries, injuries. Until we see them healthy, we won't know.
Basically, I mean, we're pretty much both talking about Kyrie, right? If they don't get Kyrie, right, do you think they can actually compete?
We're about to talk about it soon. There's one trade that I feel like if they make that trade, that
Yeah,
we're about to talk about this soon. I think they can compete. But like to me, the roster is like you see, I don't want to throw everything on Russ, but like I just feel like I feel like the Lakers are at their best, and we saw when LeBron James ran the point. I
that's
just need the
true.
ball. Like you need to have the ball in his hands, surround him with shooters. AD there at the 4 or 5. Like that's the successful of the Lakers, and we saw them win a championship with
Yeah,
two big guys. They had Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis. They had JaVale McGee, Anthony Davis. Like they had. Sometimes they went small ball, but like I could see it happen. But I just need LeBron running the point though. Like it's obviously hard with Russ. Like I said, he's not more of an off the
yeah,
ball player.
that's true.
But it's been a lot of rumors, and Russ is probably going to come on a revenge tour because there's been a lot of
Yeah.
rumors about him
Do
every
you
day.
think Russ is
Literally,
gonna have
he's.
like a like resurgent season? You think he's gonna be amazing this season?
I
Like
really do
honestly,
hope because like I'm not here to like. It's not like we both think we have a lot of respect for him, and I feel unfortunate that he's got excessive hate. For his one bad year with the Lakers. But obviously, he comes out and says things like, "Man, I didn't have no expectations." There's a lot of things that he said that kind of made it worse. You just don't say that things when you're on the Lakers, and like I feel like sometimes he didn't take accountability. When he got benched, he was like, "Oh, I just told them, like I'm sorry I couldn't be out there." Like I think there was a reason. Like I feel like sometimes it comes down to with Russ. Like we like he like I felt like this season he kept bringing like I've done so much in my career. It's the past, and we know his past is phenomenal. He's a Hall of Famer, but we want the current and the current. I know it's hard, but like you got him coming from like it
yeah,
felt
yeah, I get that.
like the past kept coming up. It's like, oh, this is what I did in the past. But we're talking about what you are right now, and he's not the guy he was in the past. Um, it's hard, but obviously I still think the trade has to happen. Whatever trade is hard, but I thought the first year I said they were going to win a championship. I was completely wrong. I don't see it working, but we'll see. I mean, he's under contract for one more year, and he's in a he has probably the most pressure going into next season as well. Because if he doesn't perform well, then there's a trouble of who's going to sign him, and we know he's a Hall of Famer, and it's already secure no matter what happens at this point.
So we got a little update here with the net situation regarding the Lakers too.
Mm.
So this is from Mark Stain. It says the Nets' current stance, sources say, is that they're unwilling to send out Irving in a trade if the deal solely brings back future assets. They apparently want win now talent in return to part with Irving, despite all the turmoil that has engulfed the Nets for months. Yet, sources say that the prospect of acquiring a focused Irving or a similarly splashy acquisition does still hold that kind of appeal to the Lakers, even at the costly price. Sources confirm they'll be willing to surrender both first in tandem with Westbrook's $47.1 million expiring contract to acquire Irving, although it's unclear if the picks would be unprotected or protected, I'm told. However, that the Nets have steadfastly rejected that pitch. Thoughts on this?
Um, the bottom line is Brooklyn would trade Kyrie. I think for those picks, I think the bottom line is it's about Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant's staying, they're not going to trade Kyrie. I think that's as simple as that. They're focused on the Kevin Durant situation. Once that's resolved, whether it's the trade or not, then Kyrie will be moved. Until then, nothing will happen. But it's surprising to see in the beginning the Lakers were unwilling to offer, I think, both picks, and I think that's crazy. I would give up two picks right on the dot, and you give me whatever player the Nets want. It doesn't even matter. That they wanted to give up Joe Harris for salary or whatever, and they couldn't agree. And then I think the Lakers wanted Seth Curry. But now it seems like the Lakers are willing to do, but the Nets are not. I think again comes down to Kevin Durant, his future. I think the Nets clearly want to resolve the Kevin Durant situation before they deal with any Kyrie situation. And another thing, win now. I mean, once they trade Kevin Durant, the Nets are done from win now.
That's true. I
But
mean, that's
he's not
true.
getting traded. But anyways,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, am I really surprised? Not really. I mean, like I thought honestly that they would. Honestly, what can I say? I mean, they want win now talent, and I guess they don't believe that Westbrook is that win now
Kyrie's
talent.
on a rental. If you're getting two first round picks,
That's true.
that's like if
That's a
obviously I
decent.
traded, let's say Kevin Durant actually got traded, then like I'm looking at those two first round picks. Obviously, I look at other teams too, but this is the only team that's interested. You give me two first round picks, I'll definitely take it. But obviously now if Kevin Durant stay, in my opinion, of course, if I'm the Nets, I'm running it back, and it seems like there's also reports coming out that Kyrie's invested with the Nets. You see, they
Yeah,
post him as he's like reports coming out. He's on the Instagram everywhere. Like it seems like the relationship is getting a little better. You just run it back. That's what they got to do. But I don't
yeah.
see the trade happen. Not at least not yet. It could. Who knows? Maybe in the trade deadline. But I don't see it happening right now. The Nets are smart. I don't think the Nets. Obviously, the Nets trade Kyrie Irving in a sense. Obviously, he's going to the West, but you're creating a super team with that trade. If Kyrie Irving ends up with the Lakers.
I just don't understand. Like the Nets, they want a win now talent
Mm.
for a rental player. I mean, I feel like that's pretty like even giving up a young talent for that to me is kind of like
When now players would be like Anthony Davis, and Lakers ain't giving up Anthony
yeah,
Davis.
like they have nothing to give up then, and a lot of
Yeah,
teams
Lakers
wouldn't
really
even
don't
do
have
that
that
because
many
of what Kyrie.
assets.
Yeah,
I like the assets I look at is Austin Reeves, but I don't know if the Lakers gonna give him up.
I doubt it.
But would you
But
agree then? It's like the same thing. It depends on the KD situation with the Kyrie trade.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So continuing with the Lakers, it says that the Lakers have had some on and off again talks with Indiana,
Mhm.
Wojnarowski said on SportsCenter, with Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. They've not been willing to give up two future firsts in that deal. Russell Westbrook would be in any of those deals. I think for the Lakers, they're going to continue to try and see if they can add some shooting, perhaps some size before the season, perhaps into the early start of the season. What are your thoughts on that?
So there was, I think, a report came by Shams like in July that basically the trade would happen to Indiana if the Lakers would give up their two picks. Obviously, Russ with the expiring contract, and then they get Buddy and Miles Turner. I'm surprised. I like that deal. I would do it today. I'm surprised this trade ain't happening. If you tell me Indiana's telling you, okay, you give me your two picks, and I'm gonna give you Buddy Hill, Miles Turner, and they're gonna take Russ, you do the trade. I mean, you're in. this is LeBron James. LeBron James all about when you tell me worried about a 2027 pick. Last time I checked, the Lakers about winning championships. You really gonna worry about a 2027 and 2029 pick? You must be kidding. You got LeBron James under contract for at least 2 more seasons. You got Anthony Davis there. The Russell Westbrook experiment has not been working. You're telling me, I look at this, you put LeBron James at the point. You got Buddy Hield, a 3-point specialist guy. He can shoot the three ball. He can score, average 18 to 20. Then you put at the three. You can maybe put Austin Reeves, anybody. You surround LeBron James with like two shooters like they did in the bubble in the 2019-2020 season when they had Avery Bradley and Danny Green. A similar thing, you have Buddy Hield and Austin Reeves, and then you have Anthony Davis at the four. He doesn't like playing the center, preferably, so you give the power forward, and you get Miles Turner, a guy
Yeah.
who could stretch the floor out, shoot the three ball. He's one of the, and he
Yeah, why would they not do
tops in
that
blocks.
deal? Like,
So I'm surprised that the Lakers are not taking this deal. Fact that they're worried about some two picks. Like, come on, make the deal. You tell me if this trade happens, the Lakers are back into contending status because I told you LeBron James at the point guard is the way to go in that lineup. LeBron, Buddy Hield, Miles. You get two guys who are young, great players. Buddy Hield can shoot the three and score. He could get his own basket. And Miles Turner, I mean, he got averaged 13, get rebounds. He could block shots with AD, who's already a good AD, a top defensive player as well. I mean, it'll be scary. Like, I'm surprised that this trade not happening. That the fact that they don't want to give it one pick. Come on, Lakers, what are you doing?
yeah, to me, this really makes no sense. I mean, this will clearly better your team, and
And think
you'd
about it.
give
I
it
don't know
up.
how many deals Buddy Hield and Miles Turner have, but Kyrie Irving's a potential 1 year rental.
Exactly, he's a rental.
But yeah, but
So it's
obviously
kind
we
of
know
weird
he's
that,
he's so talented though. So
yeah, but they give up two picks for a rental, but not for two players that'll be under decent long contracts. Like to me that just makes no sense. This would literally be the perfect trade for them. You get to address two of your big issues and get rid of a player you want to get
shooting,
rid of
yeah,
off
and
your
then you get a
books.
good center.
Like, so it's just so confusing. But you do it for Kyrie, which basically just gives you another playmaker and ball handling, which and shooting, I guess too. But like, I think you just kill two birds with one stone. Do this Indiana deal. Like, I feel like you're not getting, and it's for two picks, bro. Like two picks. Like I feel like like the Lakers are winning this trade, bro. They're
India
getting
want
rid
us to.
of
Yeah, that's
Russ.
what I think about too. But Indiana's clearly rebuilding, so for them,
Yeah,
they're willing to trade these players, and for them, picks are valuable. So
that's true.
they will, and they got their franchise player in Tyrese Halliburton. That's what they're building around. So
Yeah.
um, I'm surprised this trade ain't happened. If I'm the GM, this trade is already done. We not even have a discussion about Kyrie. We're not waiting on that. We making this trade. But Lakers, man, uh, eventually, I see this trade is more likely to happen than any other trade because again, it seems like Indiana's like, you give me those one extra pick, the deal's happening. That's what the reports are saying. So make it happen,
Mm,
LA. If you do this trade, back in that position. Obviously, not gonna say they're my favorites, but Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, that'd be really good. And that's the
yeah,
guy they
but
wanted before, Buddy Hield. He was supposed to be here, and Kyle Kuzma was supposed to be in Sacramento. Don't mess it up, part two. Don't do it again. So, topic number two. This is the NBA. Today, we will be discussing our part four of our five-part topic, in which we discuss our five players in each position, our top five players in each position when healthy. Today, we will be talking about our top five power forwards in the NBA. So, give it to me, Josh. What is your top five power forwards? Number one is pretty easy.
should I start from one or five or five?
I think you should start from five.
Okay. So five, I'm going with Jaren Jackson Jr. I feel
Hmm.
like he's a really young, talented player, great defensive player. Like I believe he was even running for defensive player of the year, if I'm not mistaken. I
Hmm.
mean, he can stretch the floor. He's very versatile with his offensive game, and he's really come along with this Memphis team. And they've really shown that him, the coach, and the rest of the stars on that team, that they can take that franchise places. And I feel like he's a real cornerstone for that team on both sides of the ball. And once he gets more consistent with his three and just not shooting it to shoot it, I feel like he can really elevate and becoming a really elite player, like take the next step. So four, I'm having Draymond Green. I mean, this might be controversial,
Hmm.
but I feel like he
Interesting.
always should be in that category for me. I mean, his playmaking, his leadership, his defense. I mean, people argue that he may not be the best defender, but I think all that together, he fits the team perfectly like a glove. They just won a championship. I mean, his impact cannot be understated, and I feel like it's just. Like, there's nothing that needs to be said about Draymond. Number
Yeah.
three, I have Pascal Siakam. I mean, what a season he
Mm,
had last year. Amazing for the Raptors. I mean, he's been low key, been like on like a very good trajectory. He's a very solid player. He's on the rise, and he's literally gotten better every year. And I feel like he'll only get better from here. I mean, he's a really complete player. He fits perfectly with that Toronto team. Fred
mm,
VanVleet, Scotty
okay.
Barnes, and the other talent on that team. Shout out Nick Nurse too, an amazing coach. But I feel like the next two players here I have when healthy are just, I'm not gonna say leagues above, but we know like what they're capable of. Number two, I have Anthony Davis. I mean,
Hmm.
we all know what he can do when he's healthy. The question is, can he stay healthy? He's a all NBA talent, all star talent, superstar talent when healthy. He can do it
Mm.
all. But
Top five
can he stay on
player.
the
Top
court?
five talent.
Yeah, a top five talent, but we don't know why he's not a top five player. It's because of his health. And I feel like if he just gets his health in order, he can literally ascend to be one of those talents. I mean, one of those players, not talents, because he has a talent already. But yeah, and number one, I mean, it's clear. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, there's nothing needs to be said. Like
Yeah,
nothing
nothing.
needs to be
Be
said.
honest.
Like arguably the best defensive player in the league, multiple time MVP winner,
A
NBA
champion, a
championship
finals
really
MVP.
recently, Finals MVP. I mean, there's nothing he
50
can't do on the
points in
court,
a game six closeout.
and his shooting's getting better. So I mean, I feel like in a couple seasons, we might be talking about him as the best player in the NBA.
Mm.
I mean, people say that now, but I'm just talking about his complete game. Being able to shoot, he can handle the ball pretty decently. He's unstoppable driving to the rim. His defense on another level. His length, athleticism, he has it all in the package. Like, so to me, this is a
Woo.
clear number one as Giannis.
Yeah.
What's your list?
My list, you might making me consider changing some of mine after I didn't the Draymond and Jaren Jackson, I think it totally slipped my mind. Like Jaren
Yeah,
Jackson I knew, but I feel like I forgot Draymond Green was the power forward because he be playing center too.
that's true. Yeah.
So okay. Right now this is what I'm gonna go with, okay? It's a little controversial. And number five, it's a little controversial again. I have
Oh, here,
Julius
here we
Randle.
go.
No, for
Okay,
real, I have him.
go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
All right. I know this is controversial, but Julius Randle had a down year. But I'm looking at what he does. Obviously, I know he had a down year this season, but I'm looking at everything. He's a good playmaker. He's a good big man playmaker. He could score. He averaged 20 this season, and he's a good rebounder. He's an all around good player. You know, when I look at a big man
That's
who can
true.
pass, that's pretty special. I'm not saying right now you might convince me to put Draymond because of the intangibles and what he does. You know, obviously he doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but intangible wise. But I put Randall again. It's a little controversial, I know, and I might change this after I say all of this. But I just at the moment again, Draymond Green just slipped my mind. He'd be playing any position. So yeah, for Randall again, I just look at a guy who, you know, he can average 18, 8 and 5. I mean, a guy who's and there's not a lot of, you know, power forwards who can do that, who can play, who can score, who can play, make and pass, make their teammates better. That's I think that's pretty special. At number four, I think Joshua, I think you're gonna have to readjust your list because you forgot about one player, and I think
Let's
you're
see who
gonna
I
regret
forgot.
that you did not say this. Domantas Sabonis. He's
That's
number four on
true.
my
Yeah,
list.
yeah. I
Domantas
did forget
Sabonis
about
is
him.
one of the best, I think, power forwards in the league. We saw him in Oklahoma. He got traded to Indiana. He was their best player,
That's true.
and he's a guy. We seen stat lines like no, he could score 20 easily. He could get rebounds 10 to 12 any night, and he's an elite playmaker.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Sabonis, number four. Number three, Pascal Siakam, outstanding season. Clearly, he led Toronto. Him and Van Fleet. Van Fleet made the All Star team. Pascal Siakam averaged about 24 this season. He was nothing but spectacular. Took a leap. They got to the playoffs, and obviously they took the Sixers to 6 games. He was nothing but spectacular. He's a special talent. That's why I have him at number three. Number two, again, this is when healthy. Obviously, Anthony Davis. Clearly, when healthy, he's clearly the second best power forward in the league. He's special. The guy can score. I've seen a stat line when he was with the Lakers. He literally scored 42 points and 20 rebounds. He's literally capable of doing it. Problem is stay healthy. That's it. Number one, Giannis, no debate. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a two-time league MVP. He's a one-time NBA champ. He's a Finals MVP. He won the Defensive Player of the Year, I think, one or two times. Defensive team, all NBA team. He's Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's nothing arguable about that. But that's my list. The only thing I disagree with you is not you not having Sabonis on your list. But I'm pretty sure the one you
Yeah,
disagree with the fact that I have Julius Randle on my list.
yeah.
And if you want to
That's
swap him
definitely how
out
you
with
do.
Draymond Green, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to put Draymond Green at number
Um,
five. Because again, Draymond Green can play any position. He'd be the point guard. He'd be running the
That's true,
center. He'd do
actually.
anything. So like I really said, my mom was like, yo, he's actually a power forward too. So the
Yeah, that's
Jaren
fair.
Jackson, I was gonna have him, but I feel like 1-2 years I could put him in the top 5. I didn't put him yet.
Yeah,
But Julius Randle, I feel like is not a crazy pick, but I'm okay with if you put Draymond over him.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot about Sabonis. I would have
See,
had him on my list. I mean, who'da? I feel like Draymond has to be in top five,
I would then
but
you would have to take out Jackson.
yeah, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah, but I think I'll keep my list.
I feel like Sabonis. I'm not saying you're saying this, but like I feel like he's very underrated too in the league.
He is. Yeah, he is. I had him.
It's
Yeah,
like
he
nobody
is
talks
actually.
about him. Like I look at a guy
That's
like if I
facts.
had a chance to acquire him, like the King. Obviously, the Kings made that trade. I was upset because I feel like Tyrese Halliburton is a once in a generational talent. But like obviously,
Yeah,
look at the talent that he is. He's special. I mean, obviously we look at the Kings. The Kings got a pretty good squad. I like that Teagan Murray, man. He's been
yeah,
cooking when he was in the summer league, and I really like what the team they made. They got De'Aaron Fox, Teagan Murray, Devon Mitchell still there. They got Harrison Barnes still there. They got Sabonis. I like their team. I really do. Obviously,
yeah.
the West is tough, but they'll definitely be in that mix. Hopefully to make the playoffs. But he's talented,
I think
Sabonis,
so.
man. He's
Yeah, he
super
is.
talented. He's a two-time All-Star as well.
So next, topic three, WWE. So we have a tweet here from Vince McMahon. It says, "At 77, time for me to retire. Thank you, WWE Universe. Then, now, forever, together. WWE, thankful." So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously we know Vince McMahon retired, and Triple H said it himself. I think when he was on the Logan Paul podcast, I'm not sure. I think that's where he said it. Where he said, you know, actually, I want to quote Triple H here. Triple H said, I would say this about Vince: massive shoes. I could never dream of filling. The gap there at this moment is massive, but the opportunity to take it in a direction that never gone before is massive, and I'm thrilled for that opportunity. Obviously, Vince McMahon is this business. He created this business, and nobody would be there if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. So obviously, like the WWE universe said, thank you, Vince, for everything that you've done. Obviously, we know there's a lot of controversy going around as well with Vince McMahon. So, um, and they're gonna keep finding things about this. So hopefully, just keep clearing the stuff, and we'll see what they find. But obviously, from the wrestling standpoint, not outside yet, but from the wrestling standpoint, I gotta appreciate for what he done for the business and for this company.
Yeah.
And we hope the other things take care of itself.
So next, it says, Triple H will take over creative duties for WWE following Vince McMahon's retirement. This is from Bleacher Report. What are your thoughts on that?
Triple H is doing some great things already. I'm ecstatic for Triple H. I think he's the guy to do it, and we're seeing the changes that he's already making to the company. A lot of changes, and because of him, potentially of the changes, new stars have returned. So I'm ecstatic, and I think Triple H has done an absolutely phenomenal job with so far, and I'm excited to see what he continues to build now as he is the creative. He has control of the creative duties. I'm really excited.
So you approve on what is he's done as his, during his time as the new director?
Yeah, I approve. I think he was the guy to do it. I mean, he's clearly has a great vision, and we're seeing it right now being uh, put on when I'm watching now Raw under Triple H or SmackDown under him as a creative director. And I'm loving everything he's doing. And we're about to get to what the things he's already done, which
Yeah.
the next thing.
So what are your thoughts on Karrion Cross, Scarlett, and Hit Row returning?
You see, now under Triple H, carrying Cross when he was on Raw, he was presented so bad, and then he got released, and then the way he came back when he attacked McIntyre from the back, and he said TikTok, and him and Scarlett and him came back together. I mean, it was an absolutely phenomenal presentation. Presented Karrion Cross as a real threat and a potential um, a clash between Karrion Cross and the Tribal Chief, and maybe Drew McIntyre potentially in a triple threat match. So very excited. Hit Row too, wasn't expecting Hit Row and Karrion Cross return with Scarlett. So so far not expecting any of these returns, but Triple H is doing some great things. But Triple H, please bring back the Fiend, man. I've been waiting for that to see Bray Wyatt wrestle Wyndham. Sorry, that's his real name, but for like over 2 years. I mean, I know he's been released. I've been waiting, and that's the guy I want back in W so bad. Like he's one of my favorite wrestlers. I'm hoping he'll come back. So let's get it done, Triple H.
So next, it says Sasha Banks and Naomi's return to WWE is reportedly imminent. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer said an agreement in principle was reached last week, and the former women's tag team champions could be appearing as soon as Monday's Raw. They may have already signed by now, but a week ago I was told they're back, Meltzer said on Sunday night's main event. It could be tomorrow, it could be in a couple weeks. It's whatever day they want. They're probably pacing things. You don't want to show all your cards in week one after Triple H taking over. You want to have something big to talk about every week for the next couple of weeks. An agreement in principle was reached over a week ago. What are your thoughts on that?
Let's go. I was not expecting this. Remember, we were talking about Sasha and Naomi, and I thought they were gone. They were not
Yeah,
coming back. Something happened. Obviously, we know Vince was gone, and then it feels like Triple H really wants Sasha Banks back. They had some talk, and it seems like that they already agreed that they're gonna come back. And I think she's gonna come back after the women WWE Tag Team Champion when it gets to the finale. But I'm ecstatic. You know how high on Sasha Banks. I think she's a talent that if they allow her to go to AEW, it's like Katie going to the Warriors. It's big time.
damn.
Naomi too. I think Naomi's a phenomenal talent. She's always totally underrated, and that she's so phenomenal. So I'm very happy that they're on their way to be back. I'm excited to see when they're actually going to be back. I've just been waiting. Obviously, they're two exceptional talents, and they're very hard to replace. Sasha Banks is a generational talent, and I think she's the best woman wrestler right now.
So next it says Dave Meltzer reported on the Sunday night main event podcast that he talked to people who would know whether Banks and Naomi are back with the company, and the belief is they are back. I mean, everyone expects that they're in. It's just a question of which week they want to debut. So since they are not in the tournament, I'm guessing it's gonna be the finals of the tournament or right after the finals that they show up. That's kind of how I'm reading it now. I guess I just felt it wasn't good to put them in the tournament itself. I think that they want to stagger these new and returning people coming in. Sasha and Naomi are obviously the biggest ones they can bring in, so you don't need to do it in week one. Everyone seems to think that they're in. It's just a question of which week. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I know as I was discussing, right, on this. Yeah, like I thought they were gonna come right away, but I think they're probably gonna come towards the finale of the tag team tournament. I just want to see how, I think everybody's just impatient. They want to see Sasha and Naomi return. Since they left in May, they took a huge stance. They did something that's unprecedented in the company, taking a stand against them. They fought for what they believed in, and they looked like they won the battle. So excited to see them back. We know what talents they are. Thank God they WWE didn't make the mistake to take them to AEW. I was always thinking, I was like, there's no way they're gonna let these two stars go to AEW. That's their biggest competition. So excited and just excited to see them. Whenever that time comes, we're excited to see Sasha and Naomi back. Just top wrestlers in the company. They're just irreplaceable talents.
What are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite on August 17th?
I know I haven't really talked about AEW in such a long time, so I apologize about that. So much wrestling news, but AEW, this was one of the best shows. I mean, I really got to see, CM Punk recently returned. The beginning segment between CM Punk and Dean Ambrose, and the segment was so great. And obviously, CM Punk and Dean Ambrose about to clash. Obviously, CM Punk, who is the AEW championship, and Dean Ambrose, who's the interim world championship, is going to be a great clash. I'm excited about that. But that promo was so great. The shots they were throwing at each other. CM Punk calling him potentially the third best member of his group, and we know he was talking about the Shield. I mean, there's a lot of shots being thrown. Super excited. Dean Ambrose, man, one of the best. I can't WWE let him slip away. I mean, sorry, John Moxley. I apologize. I keep saying Dean Ambrose because it just remind me of those days. I miss seeing him in the WWE, but now he's in AEW. But John Moxley, apologize. Yeah, he comes out and says that when the favorite thing when he said, I'll paraphrase it, but he literally said like when they call me interim champion, it makes me sick. Like just everything about it was completely great. So I was like super excited. And then the other thing when we have they have now AEW who's doing something really cool, the trio champions. They're doing the AEW Trio Title Tournament quarterfinals, the Elites versus the La Foxons. I hope I said that right. But obviously, we didn't know who the third person was for the Elites, and Kenny Omega returned, so that was super cool to see. And then obviously, they won the match, and it's cool. I like to see this trio championship. There's something cool. I've never really seen it. It's kind of exciting. And excited to see Kenny Omega, who's clearly, we all know he's the best wrestler in that company. He's so special as a talent. He's wrestled everywhere. He's one of the best wrestlers ever. Excited to see him back and see what this new trio thing is. So I'm super excited. But AEW, man, success. 9 out of 10 for sure for the show. Was a really good show. I was AEW is doing some great things. So moving on to topic 4. I guess it never stops, huh, Josh? We continue to talk about this thing. Shams reports. Kevin Durant informed Joe's side that he does not have faith in the Nets' direction. The meeting was described as transparent and professional with a clear message: keep me or the GM and the coach. And then Shams is another tweet. In the meeting with Nets owner Joe Tsai, Kevin Durant reiterated his trade request and informed Joe Tsai that Joe Tsai needs to choose between Durant or the pairing of general manager Sean Marks and coach Steve Nash, sources say. Thoughts on this? And if you were the Brooklyn Nets, what would you do?
Well, I mean, I mean, what can you say? I mean, I feel like KD has this. I'm not gonna say he has this leverage, but him being the talent that he is, I mean, you see players get coaches out, not all the time,
Hmm.
but it happens pretty frequently. I feel like the step I think it's a bit too far is when he asking for the GM also to get
Mm.
fired. I feel like that's like a bit too far. I understand where he's coming from because with the Kyrie situation, but I believe the owner was in on that too. So I mean, why would the owner fire the GM when the GM was essentially doing what the owner
And let's not forget, Joe Tsai made it
told the
clear
person
with
to
his
do?
intentions. He put out a tweet supporting his coaching staff, and
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to do that though.
okay.
Like at the end of the day, I feel like what will happen is, and this isn't fair for Joe Tsai. Nash on the other hand, I mean, I feel like Nash is I feel like Nash is not that great of a coach, but I feel like they both will be out. There's no way that
I
Joe
don't know. I
Tsai can
remember
with a
somebody
straight
say we
face.
don't need a head coach, but okay, yeah, go
I
ahead.
mean, that's true. They did say that, but there's no way that Joe Tsai can say with a straight face that he's picking Steve Nash and Sean Marks over KD, who is arguably the best player in basketball at the moment. There's no one that's going to say
That's
that
a
they're going to do
debate.
that. That's a
Got
debate.
swept.
So you give up arguably the
Got
best
swept in
player
this.
in the world to keep your GM
I got a lot to
and
say.
your
I'm
head
gonna let you
coach.
finish. I'm gonna let
Like,
you
there's
finish.
no way
I'm
that
gonna
you
let
can
you
say
finish.
that. I'm
Mhm.
sorry you're saying this, but if you're in a situation, there's no way that you're letting your best player walk and keeping your GM and your coach. That's franchise altering. There's no way
Okay.
you can get a new GM. You can get a new coach. Like
I got a lot. I
how
got a
much
lot to
stock
say, so I'm gonna
will
let you
players have in the
finish. I
team?
gotta.
And yes,
Mm.
I know Sean Marks is being done dirty. We know the success he's had. He essentially done everything that they wanted. They got
Thank you.
Kyrie. They made
Hmm.
all these amazing moves and
Traded
essentially killed the
their
future
future for James
killed the
Harden, which
future
KD
for James
wanted.
Harden, which was then flipped to Ben
Signed
Simmons,
LaMarcus Aldridge,
and
Blake Griffin as well,
yeah,
which KD
basically
wanted.
signed older
Patty
players, which
Mills.
yeah, pretty much. So I feel like Sean Marks is being thrown on the bus by KD here. I feel like KD's kind of a little bit forgetting all the stuff that he's done for him, all because of this Kyrie situation, which I don't like. Which is why I wouldn't say I'm not advocating for Sean Marks to get fired. I don't think Sean Marks has done anything wrong because everything Sean Marks has done has been for the players
Mhm.
and in collaboration with the owner.
Mm.
Steve Nash, if he was just asking for the coach to get fired, I feel like that's more reasonable. But then again, you handpicked the coach. So like really like it's so weird to me. Like I feel like he's kind of flexing his muscle here. Like I don't understand why it's even being done. I feel like it's a bit over the top. Yes, I guess I've been saying it's a power move, and they're just doing it. He's just doing it to show the power he has. But if this support is true, which I believe it is, that he literally went to the meeting and said it's me or them. I mean, come on now. At some point, this has to stop. Like this is too far to me. Asking for the GM to get fired. When have we ever heard that in the NBA? The GM who's done everything you asked him to do.
Not
Like, I'm
even
sorry, this is
LeBron. I
crazy,
never
bro.
hear stars do
Like,
this.
it's
I've never
crazy,
seen
bro.
GMs fired.
So
Coaches
if I
always.
am,
Coaches always.
yeah,
You've
exactly.
seen
GM is
Kawhi
crazy,
and P.
bro.
You've seen the Clippers when Doc Rivers was thrown under the bus. We've seen it many times. Lakers, Frank Vogel was thrown under the bus. It happens many times.
It's
But
just
you
so
don't
odd
really
to
hear
me, bro.
GMs though.
I've
Don't
never
really hear
heard them
GMs.
asking for a GM to get fired. Who's done everything you asked except for this one move, which I'm pretty sure the owner had the final say on. So you're essentially like slapping Sean Marks in the face for doing everything
Mm.
you asked. So the question is, if I'm Josiah, right?
Yeah. What would you do
If I'm the
in this
owner,
situation?
I mean, I'm doing what I have to do, bro. I'm firing both of them. Sad to say, bro, but I'm firing both of them. I'm not losing a generational talent in KD.
Oh my
Yes, I know.
goodness. Oh
Listen,
my
bro. Yes, I
goodness.
know that this is you. There's no way you can say this. I know you're probably gonna go on a rant, bro. There's no way
I'm
in the
about to
world
go on a
you
rant.
can say that you will let a generational talent in KD walk. You can't do that. I'm sorry, you can't. And I just hope that there becomes more rules in place because this player power is getting out of hand. There's no way that you're asking for the GM to get fired. I'm sorry that's insane to me. If I'm Joe Tsai, sad to say, bro, Sean Marks, I mean, you've done great by the franchise, but I'm sorry, I have to keep KD, bro. I have to keep KD. I have to. Sad to say, bro. Shout out Sean Marks. I mean, but it looks like your time in Brooklyn, I mean, is sadly up. I mean, let's see what Joe Tsai actually does. I feel like that tweet he put out, he had to put it out because there's no way that he can like throw his front office and coach under the bus. He has to say he's in support of them. But I think for the long term success of this franchise, he will be firing both of them. Sad to say, but yeah, what's your take on this?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. First of all, I'm going on a crazy rant. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Because first of all, you're saying you would fire. First of all, I don't. Why do I have to
Bro,
fire him? He's under
bro,
contract for 4 years.
listen, bro.
I don't have to do anything. I can keep him and keep them as well.
I didn't think about that part, but this was like, but the option you gave was like, well, I mean, not the option you gave, but the option laid in the tweet was one of the other. If it was really in our this situation, I'm not doing anything. But based on this option here, I'm picking fire them
Yeah,
both.
but this is my point. KD made a tweet. He's not retiring. He's gonna play. It don't matter.
That's true.
Look.
Yeah,
I always feel like Steve Nash. I understand you don't believe he's a great coach, and I understand he hasn't proven it yet. But if you look at the 2 years he had, he has absolute chaos, injuries, people in and out. He's never had a straight lineup. I feel like you give him an opportunity with a healthy team. I feel like he deserves another chance. And Katie just 2 months ago, when they got knocked out of play, he said he defended Steve Nash. So
it's
once he
true.
asked for a trade first, now he's throwing him under the bus. He literally defended him. You got to say it then, because you've seen Kawhi and PG when they were upset, they threw Doc Rivers under the bus from the first day. Katie just said, nah, Steve Nash, I'll support him. Okay, fine. And then
Yeah, because
he
he's a
says he
great
wants
leader,
Sean Marks.
bro.
You want Sean Mark fired. Okay, let's see what Sean Mark has done. First of all, Sean Marks came
Yeah,
to Brooklyn. He built D'Lo, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. He brought this basketball relevancy back to Brooklyn. They made the playoffs. They lost in the first round. Because of what he did, it attracted Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. They said, I like the culture. I like what's being built here. They come there, Kevin and Kyrie. The Nets didn't want Kyrie, but Kevin Durant said, you want me? You get Kyrie. Okay, we'll do it. And the reason why they didn't want Kyrie was all the questions around him, not the talent based on what's off the floor. Then after that, the season goes, the first season really doesn't count. Obviously, Katie's injured. The next season, they wanted James Harden, make the trade. Okay, we'll give up 8 picks. No problem. We got James Harden. All right. Then you wanted Patty Mills, Blake Griffin. You want everybody. We got it. Then the next season, obviously, James Harden wants out. Katie said, make the trade for Ben Simmons. We'll do it. Kenny Atkinson, who, by the way, KD just won a championship with the Golden State Warriors. But
yeah,
now
that
you
was
and
another
Kyrie,
bad
you guys
move.
wanted him fired, even though he did a great job in his first season in
Yeah,
Brooklyn. But
that
now you
was
want
so
him fired.
dumb.
You wanted Steve Nash. Okay, take him. We don't need a head coach. We could play somebody else. We don't need a head coach. I've been hearing all that crap all that damn time. And I'm not trying to make fun of Kyrie or anybody, but that's what they said. We don't need a head coach. That's exactly what they
Bro,
said. So they hired Nash,
that's
even though
bad.
they had a better coach in Kenny Atkinson, who did a phenomenal job. He got offered a Charlotte job. He didn't take it because he loves winning. And obviously Brooklyn can't win. That's why he left. They want to be losers. So, anyways, after that, seeing Marcus than anything. I don't have a problem with the fact that they want Nash fired, but don't be defending him and then you throw him in under the bus. I don't have a problem. Go hire Frank Vogel. Go hire Mike Jackson. I think you should go hire those type of talents. Go get Kenny Atkinson. Obviously, you already threw him under the bus, so he don't want to come back anyways. So, anyways, my point is, I'm looking at Brooklyn, and what gets me so tight is that Kevin Durant's asking, he's asking for all these demands. First of all, he was at Golden State. He wasn't happy there. Okay, he moved on, right? He won his 2 championships there. He was the Finals MVP. He was the best player. Whatever. He goes to Brooklyn. Now it's his team is building. Now after 2 seasons, he's on his way out. He don't want to be there anymore. He want to go to Miami. He want to go to Boston. He want to do the same thing then Golden State. He want to go join a team that he couldn't beat. He's doing the same thing again. It's like he's running away from competition. And I don't like saying this. You're going to think I'm a KD hater, but I'm speaking in fact. Miami, first of all these trades, he's first you see reports coming out of Miami. It's like, oh, I want to go to Miami, but I want Bam, Jimmy, all these dudes there. That trade ain't happening. I'm not going to just trade you away for lollipops. I'm going to trade you away for something in return. Like, it just gets me sick. First of all, okay, so I'm Joe Tsai. I have no problem firing Steve Nash, but Sean Marks, he doesn't deserve to be fired. So what are you going to do? Okay,
Yeah, I
so
agree.
what you're saying is that I got to fire both of them. You're under contract for 4 years. I don't have to do anything. You're going to sit out for 4 seasons? You're going to play, and you're going to be in a Brooklyn Net uniform whether you like it or not. That's how I look at it. And bottom line, I heard that, the report came out. He's upset. I think we're looking at the reasons that Kyrie Irving, right, didn't get the max deal. And that ultimately probably led him to, because he knows probably Kyrie's dipping after next season, right? You think that's the reason why, right? He probably acts out because of the Kyrie situation. You wanted his friend to
I
get a
think so.
long-term deal.
I
Think
agree.
about this.
Yeah.
If that was the case, Kyrie's still under contract for 1 year. Ben Simmons is there. He's motivated. You got Kyrie, you got Ben Simmons, you got yourself. You can still run it back for 1 season. After that, you can do what you want. You can ask out for a trade again. But my point is, I'm surprised they don't just run it back. But it's so funny asking all these demands. You're under the contract didn't even start yet, and he's already axed out. It just makes me sick. And the fact that, you pick me, Nash. I don't have to pick Nash or Marks or you. I can keep everybody because you have no say. What you gonna do? You gonna sit out? You gonna pout and moan and get your way out of? You gonna do the Harden? You gonna quit your way out of Houston?
Hey. Let's not diss the Uno,
I'm
man.
just saying. We know Harden quit his way out of Houston. I know he's a phenomenal talent. I'm not here to disrespect James Harden, right? But we know he quit his way out of Houston. We know he did it in a bad way. Kawhi Leonard forced his way out of San Antonio. We know that. We know Ben Simmons, what he did to get out of Philly.
That's true.
KD's not that kind of guy. He's a hooper. He ain't going to do that. There was a report saying he was going to retire. I thought it was funny, and KD thought it was funny too. Anyways, and then KD cleared the tweet, but he didn't clear the tweet about Sean Marks and Sean. So that means that's true. My bad. I'm going on a rant. I'm just upset. First, just to do a recap. What would I do if I'm Brooklyn? I'm keeping Sean Marks. If you want Nash fire, we'll look for other coaches. And I'm keeping KD. I'm happy. KD might not be happy. Boo-hoo. You got 4 years left. Play the damn contract. I don't got to trade you. Out here putting all these demands saying, get me this, get me that. I don't got to trade you.
Okay,
Why I
but if
gotta
it was
trade you? He
one
got
or the
4 years
other,
left on his
listen,
deal.
if it was absolute, either you keep KD or you keep the GM and the coach, or what are you doing? If you have to pick one or the other, you have to pick.
I'm sorry. I'll fire. I have a discussion with KD. You know what? I understand with Nash, we'll have him out, but I'm not firing Steve Nash. I mean, I'm not firing Sean Marks. I just don't see any reason. I'll talk to KD. We'll have a compromise.
Yeah,
He's lucky I'm
I
willing to
agree.
talk to him. He got 4 years on his deal.
Yeah,
4.
that's kind of crazy.
What happens if I don't fire Steve Nash and Sean Marks? What is KD gonna do if there's no trade? And now I'm gonna move on because I also have something to say about KD. There's 30 teams in the NBA, right?
Yeah,
We know I can eliminate all 27. There's only 3 teams on my list that have the potential to acquire Kevin Durant: Toronto, New Orleans, and Boston. New Orleans is out because they're not willing to offer Brandon Ingram. They're gone from this discussion. The Celtics, it don't seem like the Celtics want to give up way too much. It doesn't seem like it's happening. Toronto, this is a package I put Pascal Siakam, Gary Trent, OG Anunoby, Precious Achua picks for KD and Joe Harris. You're going to reject it, right?
of course.
I like this trade. What I'm trying to say is that no, he's basically not getting traded because the Nets are so smart. They're making the price so hard. It's like high. It's like, give me this, give me that, knowing that they have no intentions of trading KD. And it's so funny that they're even trying to like accommodate him. I don't have to accommodate because you got 4 years left on your deal. I don't want to say this, but the way KD's looking right now is like every other place he played out his contract. But what it looks like, you know what? I can't win in Oklahoma. I'm going to go to Golden
Oh,
State, get some easy
here we go.
championships. And we got to Brooklyn. It got a little tough now. Now I want to force my way out because it's a little difficult now. So let me go to Boston or some other team that can give me easy place to win a championship. I don't want to say, but tell me if I've been proven wrong. That's what it looks like.
I mean, is there? I'm not gonna comment on that, bro.
Like Shannon Sharp said, he's a track star.
He can't be a track star.
Track star.
He got his contract. How is he a track star? And
He's
this
a
part, you're gonna say he's running. How is he quitting if he's the last to do this, bro? Kyrie put up
Went
in the
to
box and he was
Oklahoma. He
out.
was in Oklahoma. Can't beat him. Can't beat him. Join him. Went to Golden State up 3-1. Got swept by Boston. Interested in joining them. I wonder why.
Bro, they were both going to leave him, and now he's at fault for now taking initiative, which I don't even think this is a genuine request.
First, he got all these demands of what team he wants to go to. He want to fire everybody. But again, I'm a rebuter. He got 4 years left on his contract. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm chilling. Get ready for training camp, Katie, because you ain't going nowhere. Nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And all these trades are offered, he's not going anywhere. You said if you're the Nets and Toronto, the Nets only want to trade with Scotty Barnes. Toronto's not giving him up. Ingram is not being offered. Only team is realistic is Boston, and Boston's willing to offer Brown, White, and picks, but that's not enough. He's not getting traded to every other team. Now he want to go to Philly. What Philly got to offer? Like honestly, they have no picks. I like Tobias Harris. I like Tyrese Maxey. I like Thibault, but Tobias Harris, Maxey, and Thibault are additional pieces to make a trade. It's not like a Jalen Brown. I want a Jalen Brown, Brandon Ingram. Bottom line is, hey, Katie, you're staying. So stop being a track star and play in Brooklyn. You got Kyrie Irving, KD, Ben Simmons. That team they built has a chance to win a championship. Bottom line is health. And there's some things not at fault. He was the most available player, but these actions that he's taken, all this, he literally signed a contract extension. A lot of this is not his fault. If obviously the team was healthy, they probably win a championship and all that. And also, you're saying, I think you said with Josiah, if I'm Josiah, I'm looking at this. You're asking for all these demands. Let me say I've been continuing to listen to you, but all you've given me is one playoff series. That's all I've won with you. Something that the
I
Nets already
mean,
done when they had Paul Pierce and that they made it to the second round. I've already done that, so I'm gonna listen to all your demands, even though I've accomplished absolutely nothing with you for the 2 years you played. I'm gonna listen to all these demands, but I only won one playoff series. Come on now, stop it. He's staying. My bottom line, what I want to say, KD's staying in Brooklyn. Ain't nothing he could do about it. He's going to stay. They ain't going to trade him. And I'm not trading him. I'm Brooklyn. First of all, I was Brooklyn. There was these discussions about a trade request. I would shut it down from day one. You ain't getting traded. You just not. You too talented. So bottom line is, you want to fire Steve Nash, no problem. C Marks, I ain't firing. Because it's like he said, pick me or him. I don't have to pick. 4 years.
hey, you don't have to pick, but I mean, you would want your star happy, wouldn't you?
He got 4 years left. He's getting money. I think he should already be happy. He's literally getting 300 plus guaranteed already from Brooklyn. And also, just real quick, you said about I'm looking at a lot of teams, and I understand why there's a lot of teams like Pelicans or these teams are reluctant to trade their star Brandon Ingram. Because I look at Kevin Durant. Okay, Oklahoma, he was there. He was a free agent. Unhappy. He went to Golden State. He got his 2 chips in Golden State. Unhappy. Feel like he didn't get the recognition he deserved. Left. The demand that came out that he wants these guys fired, I think that's a big reason why he's not even going to get traded. Besides the Rudy Gobert trade, I think also ruined it because now the Nets are looking like, yo, you getting 4 picks, we deserve a 12, and they should feel that way. But I feel like there's one more thing. Like a lot of teams are reluctant because let's say you get Kevin Durant, like, oh, he wanted this fire, this fire. What if it doesn't go right that year in Boston? Now he wants out or something. Like he's not really ever happy. I think he's trying to find that place. I thought it was Brooklyn, but I think that's where there's a reluctance to trade. I'm like, okay. And also, whether you like it or not, people are also going to say, I've heard it say that the reason we even talked about this last week, the reason why teams are also reluctant is like they're looking at Kevin Durant like, man, he's a great player, but he only won a championship when he was on Golden State with Steph Curry. He didn't win one in Oklahoma, and he couldn't win one in Brooklyn. Also, there's a reluctance to trade. My reluctance to trade is that he's going to just request a trade the next season. He's going to be unhappy again. And I'm not willing to go trade out my young stars to have a chance to compete for a championship, knowing that if it goes wrong, he might just be like, I don't want to be here either.
Listen, I feel like the only place will ever be happy is a place, and honestly, I don't think it ever exists because I think it's a place where there's no pressure on him and he just gets to play basketball. Because even on Golden State, people were he went there, he won, but people were saying, "Oh, it was such a snake move." I feel like he just wants to play with no criticism. There all will be criticism, but I feel like he just wants to play basketball and just have these narratives out the window, and that will never happen because of the way that things are. When he went to Golden State, the narratives was that now, oh, you can't win without such and such. You need a super team to win. You need some amazing team to win. Now he's at Brooklyn doing it. He's trying to do it himself. Oh, you need Curry to win. You can't do it. Now your team isn't good enough. You can't win anything. I feel like there's no place he will truly be happy because this will always circle back to these two main points: that he can't win without Steph Curry, which is one argument. He can't win without a super team, and that he can't do it on his own. I feel like he just wants to play basketball and compete at the highest level, but without the narratives, but I feel like it will never happen. So I feel like he will never be happy anywhere. So he just has to play where he's at. Honestly, that's my take on it. So topic 5, opening night. The two games are the Philadelphia 76ers at Boston Celtics at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and the Los Angeles Lakers at the Golden State Warriors at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And the ring ceremony will be on the 18th, which is that Lakers game for the Warriors. So what are your thoughts on that?
Obviously, I like the opening night games. Obviously, Philadelphia at Boston. Obviously, Boston. You always see those top teams who just made it to the finals. You always see the champions on opening night. Obviously, you see something that interests you. Philadelphia, the new Philadelphia 76. We got James Harden, Joel Embiid. I mean, they were already there. PJ Tucker's there. You got, DeAndre Melton, Daniel House. It's a big market going against Boston. They're rivals. I think it's going to be exciting to see Philly at Boston. I'm excited about that first match to see James and we've been seeing some videos of James Harden and Bleacher Report. He's looking scary. He's coming in top shape. So we know the beer's coming with a vengeance. And obviously, I said all the things about Houston. People agree with me, but I don't hate James Harden. He should have left Houston anyway. I didn't like the way he did it. That's all I was trying to say. And also, I was on a KD rant, so I was just saying whatever. But so yeah, I like this first match, and of course, Lakers at Golden State. LeBron James on opening night. He has to be. He's LeBron James. LeBron at Golden State, kind of like it. We get to see LeBron 80, and we'll see we saw actually the same opening night matchup last season when the Lakers hosted Golden State. When they had Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson wasn't back. So it's interesting to see now different dynamic. The champions, and then they're gonna see them get their rings and all that. And it's gonna be a fun matchup. So I'm excited about opening night.
Yeah, same to be honest. I mean, I feel like the matchups are good. They're competitive teams for the most part. We'll see how the Lakers are, but yeah, the Celtics, that'll be a good game to watch for the 76ers. I want to see them. And yeah, I feel like the ring ceremony, it'll be nice to see them, get their rings.
I don't know how the Lakers gonna look at it, looking at them celebrate.
Yeah,
Obviously, I remember watching when it was Clippers at Lakers getting their rings, and you see Marcus Morris recording it for his brother, how the Clippers actually feel. Like that's just crazy to think too.
yeah.
Obviously, you don't. I mean, you respect. And obviously, LeBron James has so much respect for Draymond and Curry. He's had, over the years that they've built a great relationship. So obviously, they deserve it. That's their moment, and they're gonna, move on and defend that title.
So the first Lakers Clippers game of the 2022-2023 NBA season is scheduled for October 20th at Crypto.com Arena. Sources tell The Athletic. LeBron James and Anthony Davis versus Kawhi Leonard and Paul George again for the first time since December 22nd, 2020. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, when Kawhi Leonard first joined the Clippers, they won on opening night, they won on Christmas. I was ecstatic. I took those regular season games as they won a championship. I'm not about to do the same mistake. It's nice to see the Battle of LA. We get to see LeBron 80, and we haven't seen Kawhi Leonard play the Lakers at all last season. So always the Battle of LA is great when you have top stars on both. I have LeBron James 80 on one side. You got Kawhi, PG, and the team that they got. We got Darvin Ham, the new coach. It's exciting. Obviously, the Clippers are considered better than the Lakers right now. Obviously, but I'm not about to. It's nice somebody wins, but all I care about is winning that championship, Clippers. So you could win opening night. I mean, sorry, you could win your first game or October 20, but I want to see a championship. I don't want to see no 3-1 choke. So win that championship.
My thoughts on this. I mean, I feel like this matchup to me has lost all like hype around it. Like honestly, like it's been hyped up for so long and it's never
Yeah, and
actually
I remember
happened
we've
like
been
in a competitive setting.
like for the last 3 seasons, it's crazy to think that they never played each other in the playoffs. Like
Yeah,
that's
so
what
like
everybody wanted. Clippers, Lakers. The first season, shout out Clippers for choking a 3-1 lead. I've cried till this day about that. Then the next season, Lakers were hurt. They had their issue. They got out in the first round. The Clippers did get to the conference finals. They played the Suns. The third season, Lakers and Clippers ain't make the playoffs. Obviously, Clippers, they had injuries, and obviously with the Lakers, they have injuries as well. And obviously, it was just a disaster season. So, and then we saw obviously Golden State and Mavericks. So, yeah, so like I still think it's obviously regular season is still Lakers Clippers. They have a little rivalry, even though the Lakers are completely dominant. We know that. You could call the Clippers the basement team. You could say what you want, 17-0. They're never going to touch the Clippers. But currently, right now, I would say the Clippers are the better team. And going forward, I think they are. So, but yeah, obviously, still like I'm excited to see Kawhi and PG against 80 LeBron. We haven't seen Kawhi play in so long, so it's exciting to see that. The battle's great, but again, I only care about championship. I don't really opening night, somebody win or not. Don't I just want a champ? I just want the Clippers to win a championship. I was overhyped about a Christmas game of that before, and that didn't look too good when the Lakers won the championship and the Clippers lost in 7 games to the Denver Nuggets. So I still remember. All fans know that. So don't get overhyped over some game. I would say, but yeah, it's fun. It's gonna be. I like competition. It's gonna be fun to watch, but I only care about the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not even any rivalry here anymore. Like,
No, it
I
definitely
feel
is. I
like
mean, Lakers Clippers still
I don't know.
it's
I
still a
mean,
bit.
I feel like it's one sided. Like, I feel like it's all Clippers like grasping at thin air because,
Oh,
like,
oh,
like
like
no
the
offense to the Clippers
baseball
fans,
town,
but
but like you still have
what
LeBron
is the
James.
rivalry really? Like, the Clippers have no comparison. Like, it's like I feel like it's one sided rivalry.
Oh, like in that. I was talking about currently. If you talk, the Clippers won the last 7 games, I
Uh,
think.
uh,
So, but
I
I
was talking
get
about like
you're of course the Lakers.
yeah,
It's the same thing with Knicks and Nets. The Knicks
yeah,
run New York City.
yeah.
The
I don't think there's a
Lakers
rivalry
run
there either
LA.
though. Like,
But
I
they,
mean, there
but
is
like you
because
see
of where
that
they're
when you watch
located
the
at.
game, there's some rivalry. Hey, did you remember KD was clowning the Knicks? How you looking now, KD?
I'm weak.
Should have went to Madison Square Garden, but wanted to settle for Barclays Center. And we see the disaster has been caused. Brooklyn.
I do want to see it play because I want to see them. Hopefully, that everyone's healthy at that moment, which they should be. But I just want to see that matchup for
Yeah, this is
once and
close to the
see them
beginning
both
of the
compete at a
season.
high
Lakers
level.
play October 18th, and then they play on the 20th. So it's literally the beginning of the season. I'm excited. It's always good to see Kawhi versus LeBron. So I think people are looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Both got a chip on their shoulder, you know? All these guys.
yeah,
Kawhi's been out for one season. Feels like people forgetting about them. And he has a lot of pressure to win a championship. This is his fourth season in LA, right, with the Clippers. So
I believe so.
obviously
Yeah,
1 year he didn't play. Third season playing, but fourth year. He has a lot of pressure to deliver a championship. We had the king of
yeah.
LA and all that. We know he ain't delivering no championship. You got to win a championship.
So next, the Christmas Day schedule has been released.
Yeah.
It is the 76ers versus the Knicks at 12
Wait,
p.m.
it's not Brooklyn? Wait, where's Brooklyn at?
The
I thought
Lakers versus
no Brooklyn? I don't see Brooklyn.
the Lakers versus the Mavericks at 2:30 p.m. The
Mm.
Bucks versus the Celtics at 5 p.m. The Grizzlies versus the Warriors at 8 p.m. and the Suns versus the Nuggets at 10:30 p.m. What are your thoughts on that? And what would you rank them 1 through 5? And which game are you looking forward to the most?
First of all, yo, Josh, did you read it wrong? I don't see Brooklyn. Why are they not on the list? Kevin Durant's on the team. Oh wait,
Weak.
Knicks run New York City.
I mean,
Anyways, what I
everyone knows
thought,
that.
I love all the games that they got. 76ers at Knicks. I know you probably don't feel that way, but does it Christmas Day in MSG? It's a special feeling. James and Joel in the Garden against the new coming Knicks with the Jalen Brunson. I'm ecstatic. It's always good to see the Knicks on Christmas Day. Lakers at Mavericks. That's gonna be fun. You got LeBron James and who's been compared to him, Luka Doncic, LeBron and Luka. It's gonna be fun. Bucks and Celtics probably gonna be, I think, up there as the top game. It was a 7-game series, and now it's a little different. Now Chris Middleton's gonna be there. How's that gonna be? Then you have Golden State, Memphis. I mean, Draymond and Ja were going at it at Twitter, so we knew this was gonna happen. And the Suns and Nuggets, I'm excited to see Jamal Murray back, Michael Porter, a healthy Nuggets team. That's gonna be scary. Ranking is hard, obviously. Okay, first I'll say which one I'm looking forward to the most. I think I'm looking forward to the Bucks and Celtics the most. I think it's because that was a 7-game series, and we got to see how close of a series that was, obviously. And I'm excited to see they're really both good teams. I think that's gonna be my favorite game. I think it's gonna be the best game. Ranking it, this is tough. I'm gonna say number one, Bucks at Celtics. I think that's the best game. And number two, I'm gonna go with this is tough. I'm gonna go with um the Lakers and Mavericks. LeBron against Luca. It's nice to see that. And number three, I'm gonna go with Memphis at Golden State. Obviously, there's been trash talk a lot, so it's kind of cool to see Ja versus Curry. It's gonna be fun. This young Grizzly feisty team against the Warriors. And number four, I'm going with the 76ers at Knicks. It's MSG. You could say what you want about the Knicks, but MSG, Madison Square on Christmas Day, sign me up.
Like,
And then number five, I got the Suns and Nuggets. No disrespect, obviously I think it's as good that Joker's on Christmas. I don't think he was on it last year, and he's the MVP. He always gets disrespected. He gets no. I feel like he doesn't get the respect he deserves. Obviously, I'm a little upset the Clippers on it, but I don't mind it. It's all fine with me. But I like all the games. I think they're all really good. Obviously, my suggestion would be Clippers at Nuggets again, but I'm okay with Phoenix at Denver. I mean, they had a little chippy rivalry too a few years ago with Devin Booker and Joker. So I'm excited. I think they're all good games. And obviously, Brooklyn might have been on it, but we know the whole situation is a disaster. And obviously, come on, Knicks over Knicks or Nets? I'm choosing the Knicks because I thought the Nets won
mm,
New York, but last time I checked, they won one playoff series. One playoff series.
my thoughts on this. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I feel like they missed some opportunities to like, you know, I don't know. I feel like it could have been better.
Yeah,
Like
definitely Atlanta could be on this list too. Got
like
missed out.
I'm gonna make some suggestions at the end, but ranking them
Okay.
1 through 5 real quick. I mean, the one number one game I want to see, honestly, for me personally, is the Grizzlies Warriors. That's the number one game on my list.
Oh, okay.
Next, I'm gonna say Celtics Bucks. Then mm, I'm gonna say Suns Nuggets. Then I'll say then I'll say Knicks Sixers, and then I'll say Lakers Mavericks.
Wait,
I
what?
mean,
At number 5? You know what says
yes,
LeBron versus
I
Luca?
mean, I mean,
LeBron versus Luca. The face of the league versus the new face of the league.
a non-playoff team versus a like really, bro. I'm not
They're gonna make
interested,
the
bro.
Lakers are
Respectfully,
not
bro.
missing the playoffs this
Like,
season. Come on
I
now.
mean, they missed the last. I mean, people said the last season too, bro. So
Nah,
I'll
LeBron James on a
I'll wait and
vengeance.
see, bro. And as for suggestions, I feel like it should have been the.
And you know LeBron James has to be on Christmas Day. You know that.
That's true. I mean, hey, bro. I
Number
feel like
5.
one
Change
game
that
should have
order.
been.
That's
Nah, that order is staying, bro. I feel
stop
like
it.
I feel like I feel like it should have been Suns versus Dallas
Oh,
because you know
okay.
the little beef that they had. I
All
don't
right, I don't
understand why
like.
the Knicks are here every year. I get they play in Madison Square Garden, but come on now. I feel like a game that should have been here, honestly. I mean, this may be controversial. I may be biased, but I feel like Spurs Hawks should be on Christmas Day, bro. Like, tell me, like,
Oh
is that such a
my
crazy take,
goodness.
bro?
Ain't nobody
Like,
want to see
bro,
no
you
San
no
Antonio
listen,
opening day.
bro.
I'm about to go
Bro,
watch
you
the
gotta hear my
the
reasoning, bro.
tankers. They about to
Bro,
tank.
you gotta hear my reason, bro. We
Okay.
just lost our best player. We gave him to
Okay.
the Hawks, right?
Oh yeah, we
He
seen
left.
DeJounte Murray doing some crazy stuff
He
now.
left on some decent terms, and now he's
And
sort of
then it
turning
does
into
look
like
like he became the villain.
yeah. Now he's turning into like a villain player, bro. Like, would that not be a good like the NBA is all about storylines? That's a good storyline, bro. I feel like they missed a big opportunity with Dallas Suns. That'll be a big game. They missed that,
Okay.
and I feel like Knicks 76ers. It should have been Knicks. It really should have been Nets 76ers, bro. Regardless
Nope.
of what
Stop
happens,
it.
bro. Bro, that's the best storyline. That's what it's all about
Yeah,
storyline.
but I think it's because of the Kevin Durant situation. They
The
not
Knicks
sure
are
what's
there for no
happening.
reason, bro. The Knicks have no reason why the Knicks playing. Why the Lakers playing? They wouldn't even in the
MSG.
playoffs. LeBron James? This is a joke. This
So
is a
you tell me you
joke,
have
bro.
Kevin Durant, Brooklyn, but why he's not on Christmas Day? Doesn't he run New York City? He got one playoff series victory.
Bro, we all know why, bro. Whatever, bro.
Okay,
This is a
any
joke
other
to me, bro.
suggestions?
What
Okay, so who are you
else?
taking out? So you have Sixers and Nets. That's what you want. If KD was obviously there was no controversy around it right now, right? So you would have
Yes.
Sixers at Nets or Nets. I think it would be Net. No, actually, I would do Nets at Sixers because Ben Simmons going back to Philly.
Okay. I'll do Nets at Sixers. I'll do Suns versus Dallas. I remove that Lakers game. Lakers get off the list, even though
Okay,
I know that they're gonna be on it regardless. So if
okay.
anything, I would put uh hmm.
You would do Lakers Clippers.
Yeah, I would do Lakers Clippers because you know that apparently the Lakers have to be on it. Or if
They have
anything, to
to,
be
bro.
more
No, it's
and if
LeBron
anything,
James.
and since the Knicks apparently have to be on it, I would do Knicks versus Atlanta, bro. I run that back.
Okay. Well, Trey Young. Okay. So your
I
okay.
run
So
that
your
back.
list. Okay. So your list looks like it. So I want to get this straight.
All right, so my ideal list would be Hawks, Knicks,
Okay.
Lakers, Clippers,
Okay.
Bucks, Celtics,
Okay.
Grizzlies, Warriors, and
That's
Suns,
four.
Mavericks.
So no Sixers on
No,
Christmas Day.
no,
No
no,
Sixers. No
no,
James and Joel.
no.
You're
Sorry,
crazy.
no.
You're
Is it really
crazy.
that? Is it really that crazy?
Yeah.
Really?
No James Harden not on
I
Christmas
don't think it's that
Day.
crazy,
Am
bro.
I living in a fantasy world?
I don't think it's that crazy, bro.
Oh, stop. Okay, my list. I don't mind what you said. I actually like the list. I got to keep Bucks, Celtics. I got to keep Sixers and Knicks, Lakers and Mavericks. I'm keeping all of these. The only one I would probably consider swapping is Phoenix and Denver, and potentially putting. I don't mind. Okay, so if I had to really change the list, I would do Lakers at Clippers. Okay, I would do Mavs with the Suns. I might have done Warriors, Denver at Golden State. I might have. And I have the Sixers and Knicks and Milwaukee and the Celtics. But the problem is the Grizzlies should be on Christmas too. But maybe Warriors was with
Why?
Denver at Golden
Like what?
State. And
Why? Why should they be on Christmas Day? Let me know. Why
who?
should they be on Christmas? The Grizzlies. I mean, granted they're here, but what have they done to deserve a Christmas Day game? Like
Bro,
really?
the Grizzlies, whether you agree or not, like the Grizzlies are one of very hyped teams. A lot of people love watching them the way they play. And I think and
So
we've
the
seen
first
them
seed
going
Heat
back
shouldn't
and
be on
forth.
Christmas.
And Grizzlies and Warriors have a lot of like there was so much trash talk. It felt
But
like
this
a
is a
Christmas
joke to
game was
me.
be deserving. I don't look the thing is I don't know. Then I would have to take out Denver. I feel like Denver is hard. I'm good with the list because I'm adding the Clippers and I have to move somebody, but I feel like like the Mavs and Suns, we don't need to see Luca destroy the Suns again. We can see it another day. So I'm good with the list that they got. Yeah, I'm good with the list. And Clippers not being on, I'm fine with it. I understand it. I'm not here crying or moaning about it. I only cares about that championship, so it don't matter to me. But you just said the game you're looking forward to is the Warriors in Memphis. Now you don't want Memphis
No,
on
I
Christmas?
am, I am. But you said that they should be on Christmas. I mean, besides that, like,
No, I
there's no
think it's
reason
because
why they
of the
should be on Christmas. But that game is something I'm looking forward to. Like they
it's
don't have a
because of the
reason
the
to.
trash talking those teams had, bro. They had so much. Like
I
you
guess.
think
I
about
mean,
the okay. You talk about storyline. Think about this.
yeah. There's a
Game
good
one,
storyline,
No,
but
no. Think about this. Draymond Green, game one, ejection, right? Game two, Dylan Brooks, what he did to Gary Payton. Game three, John Morant's injury. I mean, the storyline is built.
yeah, that's true. But that's their
Broke the
interaction.
code. They were saying a lot of
Them
stuff.
alone have no reason to be on Christmas. Them with the Warriors is a good game, but I feel
Yeah,
like they've
obviously.
done nothing alone to be on Christmas.
I think they done. Don't be. We got a
What they
Grizzlies.
done as a group, they did nothing like
What
like
they
that's
took
not
a
a
huge
Christmas
leap this
team.
season, second in the West.
And the first seed Heat are not on Christmas Day, so I feel like that's not the reason.
Yeah, it's hard. Somebody. Yeah, that's kind of tough too. Yeah, I get you what you mean. Topic number 6. NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo made some remarks Sunday that could leave Milwaukee Bucks fan a bit nervous for the future. Antetokounmpo appeared on Fox 32 Chicago, the Sports Zone, and appeared to suggest that he would be open to playing for Chicago Bulls in the future. The two-time MVP cited the Bulls' legacy in the NBA as one of the reasons why Chicago remains an attractive destination for him. And then he said, "I think anyone asked that question who played basketball, if he said no, he'd be a liar. It's a team that won multiple championships, a team with one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player to ever play this game," he said. Then he also said it's a no-brainer. Everybody would love to play for Chicago down the line. You never know. You never know how life brings it. Maybe I'll play for Chicago, but right now I'm committed to Milwaukee. Thoughts on this? Do you think Giannis will leave the Bucks down the line?
Yes. I mean, the fact that he's even putting this in the air to me is just writing on the wall. I don't know why he would even say this. Like to me, it doesn't even make sense, like at all. Like you're essentially saying that in the future, like you're looking forward to basically playing for the Bulls. Like that's what I took from this. Like that's what I heard. That basically before the end of your career, essentially you want to play in Chicago. At the moment you're Milwaukee, but down the line you want to play eventually for the Bulls. Like I feel like it's kind of disrespectful, like to the franchise. I mean, they did recently win a ring. I guess somebody said this is pressure on them to keep it up, but I feel like they've done a pretty good job. Like I just don't understand why would he even say this. Like maybe you can shed some light on it, but I don't understand what is meant by saying this. Aside from the fact that in the future I won't be here, that's what I took from it. Could be at the end of this contract. It could be later on the line. Well, obviously, I assume he's going to be in his better years in his career, which may be in his prime. So I don't know why would he even say this. Maybe you can explain to me
Yeah,
what is the purpose of saying this.
I think I heard I think it was on NBA today. Matt Barnes was saying this. I think it's and I agree with what Matt Barnes said. I think he was saying something along the lines that it's the whole Milwaukee Bucks accountable. Like, okay, yeah, you got me under contract, but don't be, not trying to put these pieces around and win. I'm still here to win, and I think he's just trying to put the franchise on notice, like, keep building around me and keep
Yeah, but
putting
they
us in
did that
positions to
though.
win. And I understand it, but I think he's saying, like, I'm not here just to win one. I'm here to just win, compete every season. And he wants those pieces around. And I feel like he's just holding Milwaukee accountable. It's like, yeah, you got me, but don't think just because you got me, you can do this or do that. You gotta, I want to win, and then that's all I'm about. So I think he's just holding the franchise accountable. And do I see him leaving? I mean, it's always small markets teams. Players tend to, we don't see a lot of players stay. We see Dame and staying with Portland and stuff like that. But I don't know. He said maybe. Who knows? Maybe. I think it comes down to this. Let's say I don't know when his contract is up. Maybe in a few seasons, and it's not going good. They don't win championships. They're getting bounced out early. I think he would leave then. But if they're competitive, I don't think he's going to leave. If they maybe win another championship, I think he just put pressure on the franchise. Like, continue to build it. I'm here to win, and don't get satisfied. Just because I'm here now, you think you have me long term. That you don't have to maybe go crazy for trying to get good players and stuff like that. So I think it's just to put pressure on the franchise. And hey, if you Chicago, I mean, he has a point. I mean, a lot of players. I mean, Michael Jordan was. a lot of people's eyes, the greatest player ever. Um, so you know, I haven't. We still both haven't said who our goat is, and we'll keep that with to ourselves until in a future episode. But I think he's just putting pressure on the franchise to hold them accountable, as like
But I
continue
don't
to
but
build.
I don't get it. Like it's not like it's been
And
years
hey,
since the last contender.
maybe he
He just
wants to.
literally won the ring last year. Like he won the ring last year.
Hey, I mean, he said I'm
I just feel
committed
like
to
it's
Milwaukee.
disrespectful, bro. Like they've clearly done what they said they were gonna do. They put pieces around him. They built a championship contender roster, and you're telling me a year later you're saying that down the line I might leave. Like they know the pressure's on them. That's why they made those moves. That's why they put Drew Holiday. That's why they got Drew Holiday. That's why they made these moves. Yes, PJ Tucker left, but that's one piece.
Guess you
Like
got a
I feel
point,
like
but
it's
hey, I mean,
disrespectful.
who knows? Does Giannis have intentions of playing somewhere else? Who knows? Maybe
I think he
he's
does.
like, I already done.
I
He's
honestly
checked
think
with
that
his.
if they didn't win this, like he probably would have left like a bit
Oh yeah, for
sooner.
sure, he'd be gone. He'd be gone. Yeah, I think so too. But I would obviously Giannis Chicago. I mean, that'd be great. I think for Chicago fans, they'd be ecstatic, to get a guy like Giannis. Who knows? Zach Levine's still there, and obviously he's under for 5 years, and DeRozan maybe still there. Obviously he's on a shorter term deal. I mean, they'd be scary. Put Giannis on that, they'd probably be one of the favorites to come out the East. If not, people eyes might be the favorites, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's not even just Chicago. Who knows? He's open to going a lot of other teams. Who knows? But Giannis has been the kind of guy, as he's shown, is like he's the kind of guy. He's not willing to go play on a super team. He's all about competing at the highest level. Unlike some other guys, Kevin Durant. But anyways,
I
you know
mean,
what I'm
has he
saying.
really had a chance to go to super team though? If he had the chance, he'd do it.
There was a chance where Golden State was potentially, him going there. I mean, there's ways, but my bad throwing shots at KD. I shouldn't do that. My bad. But anyways, um, maybe who knows? But I think Chicago. That's a nice. I mean, Chicago hasn't been winning in a very long time, so it'd be Giannis goes there, it'd be incredible. But we'll see. I think he's being Milwaukee. He's still got a few years under his deal, so I don't think Milwaukee got to worry. Just continue to build and see what happens. It's not a definite he's going to leave, but at this point, it looks like 50-50. I think if things go wrong in these next few years, he might be out the door.
True.
And Josh, before we end, the last thing I want to say, obviously, we know the passing of Bill Russell, so we just want to send out
Yeah.
condolences to his family,
Yeah.
and his
R.I.P.
close friends and everybody. Obviously, a legend passed away, and he just not on the floor what he did off the floor. He was so influential. So, I guess what do you want his thoughts, on the NBA retiring number 6 all over, every
I
team.
mean, I feel like it's very respectable. He's one of the best players to play the game. One could argue that his legacy is one of the best. That we've seen from a player, and I feel like he won't be forgotten. And especially with every team doing this, I feel like it's a great show and a great sign of respect by the league and all the teams that they respect what he's done and that they will remember him and remember what he's done for the league in
Yeah, and
basketball.
obviously there's players who've been grandfathered into whoever's wearing the number currently can still wear. They're the last people to wear, like LeBron James. There's a lot of other players as well. Um, I think probably 9. But yeah, to go on what you're saying, obviously, when it comes to winning, I think of him. Won 11 championships in 13 seasons. He's a definition of success. I mean, he's one of the greatest players to ever live. What he's done on and off the floor, and I think I agree. It's respectful. I think it's something that has to be done. I mean, he is again not just on the floor, off the floor. He's winning everywhere in life, and he's done a lot of incredible things. So, you know, so rest in peace, to Bill Russell, legend. He will be missed, never be forgotten. His legacy is set in stone. Um, and yeah, we're definitely gonna miss him. Incredible talent, incredible individual. So again, condolences to his family, and we will, remember his greatness. His greatness will never be forgotten. He's one of the greatest to ever live. But that concludes episode 27 of the Straight Sports Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram at Straight Sports Podcast. And as well, if you haven't already, uh, we also have a YouTube channel. If guys, watch that whatever platform you watch, but definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel if you guys can. We would gladly appreciate it. But yeah, we'll continue to put out that good content. Uh, and then me and Josh are about to have a race with Kevin Durant to who's the best track star. But anyways,
I'm weak.
um, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and We'll be back with another episode hopefully soon. And thank you.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.